Hi, everybody. So, today I am going to read you this book called Nobody Hugs a Cactus. It's written by Carter Goodrich, and I just thought it would be a fun book for y'all to hear. Since today is pajama day, I am wearing my pajamas. It says, "Let's stay in bed." I hope a lot of you got to do some of that today, too. Nobody hugs a cactus. Where could the setting be? I'm thinking it might be the desert because I see a cactus and I see that there's a lot of that ground that kind of looks like the desert, not a whole lot of trees. Nobody hugs a cactus. I see the cactus here, and he is sitting in the window. He is getting some sun, like I wish I was doing. Let's see what it says. Hank lived in a pot. The pot sat in a window. The window looked out at the empty desert. It was hot, dry, peaceful, and quiet, just the way Hank liked it. I'm looking at Hank's face. He doesn't look so peaceful anymore. I'm thinking maybe he might be upset or mad. Let's find out why. But every now and then, somebody would interrupt Hank's peace and quiet. "Hi, Hank," Rosie the tumbleweed called out. "Isn't it a beautiful day?" Hank ignored her. He just wanted to be left alone. Sounds like he's not very friendly. Oh, I see Rosie leaving. "Okay, so long," said Rosie cheerfully as she tumbled away. Hank was happy again. And if I look at the picture, I see that he's kind of happy now that she's gone. But just as Hank was beginning to relax, "Hello," shouted a tortoise. I wonder if Hank's going to be more friendly toward the tortoise. Doesn't look that way. "Private property," yelled Hank. "Keep out." The tortoise was so frightened, he hid in his shell. Poor tortoise. Oh, I see a rabbit. Wait a minute. Look at Hank. I don't know, guys. He doesn't look very friendly. Hank was still yelling at the tortoise when the jackrabbit dashed by. "Hiya, Prickles," she shouted. "My name isn't Prickles," Hank yelled back. "And stay out of my yard." "Tumbleweeds, tortoises, jackrabbits, what's next?" said Hank. Would you want to be his neighbor? I'm thinking I may not want him as a neighbor. I'm looking at Hank. He looks quite upset again. I see how his spines are standing up. A coyote came loping by. "No dogs allowed," Hank yelled. "But I'm not a dog," said the coyote, "and you are as prickly on the inside as you are on the outside." Oh, look at Hank. He doesn't look very happy. Before Hank could yell back at the coyote, a cowboy strode past. "Keep off the grass," shouted Hank. "What grass?" said the cowboy. "Seems to me somebody needs a hug. Too bad nobody hugs a cactus." When I think about it, that might be true because cactus has those prickly spines that might hurt if I try to hug it. But thinking about Hank's personality, he looks pretty mean, so I don't know if I'd want to give him a hug. He looks a little scary. I see a new visitor. "Hi," said a lizard. "Who invited you?" said Hank. "And just in case you're wondering, I don't want a hug." "Well, that's good," said the lizard, "because I don't want to give you one." Then he skittered away. An owl landed on the roof. "If you're looking for a hug," said Hank, "well, I guess I could give you one." "Who, me?" said the owl. "You must be joking." And for the first time, Hank began to feel a little lonely. Everybody see Hank? He does look a little lonely, doesn't he? Maybe he's realizing he kind of does want a hug. I see Hank off in his window, but this time I don't see anybody giving him a hug or talking to him. The next morning, Hank was feeling more sad on the inside than prickly. Maybe a hug wouldn't be so bad after all. I know I like hugs, and I miss hugging all you guys. Uh-oh. I see the wind's picking up. Things are blowing around. Look what's happened to Hank. The wind began to pick up. An old cup blew by and stuck to Hank's face. His arms were too short to get it off. "Great," said Hank. I see somebody coming to visit. After a while, Rosie came bouncing by. "I'll get it off for you, Hank," she shouted, and she jumped. She jumped up to knock the cup off of Hank's face. Then she tumbled away, because that's what tumbleweeds do. Hank didn't have time to thank Rosie. He felt bad about all the other times that he had been so rude to her. So he came up with a plan. Hank decided to grow the best flower that he could and then give it to Rosie as a thank you gift. It took days, but at last it was ready. He couldn't wait for Rosie to pass by again. I'm looking, he did grow her a pretty flower, didn't he? I see Hank. I see Rosie coming. Let's find out what happens. When at last she finally did come bouncing back, Hank held out the flower. "Look, Rosie," he said, "I grew it just for you." Guys, I noticed something about Hank. For the first time, he's actually smiling. Rosie was so surprised, she jumped up and gave Hank a great big hug. Aw, that was sweet. It was so nice, Hank didn't want to let go. And as things turned out, he couldn't. Rosie and Hank had become stuck together. I guess all his spines made stick to her. But they don't seem to be minding. But they didn't care. After all, it's better to be stuck in a hug than be stuck all alone. Guys, I would have to agree with that because I really miss you guys. And so, even though I couldn't give you a hug, maybe seeing these two characters hug will make you think of that. I hope you've enjoyed our show for tonight and our read aloud. And I can't wait to see the rest of you this week during our class meeting and our small group sessions. Miss you guys.